Yeah, in my opinion, it's pretty cool that Swag is playing. I think this kid has insane talent. We often play with him online on some ranked games and on pub games. And I think it's a very sad history that he can't compete anymore. For me, it's a little bit too harsh for what happened, and for being the first time it ever happened. I understand the consequences, understand how hard it was and how serious what they did was, but I think at least his game, his space to play a couple tournaments is something very interesting for me, and I'm quite excited to see how he's going to play this tournament.
Yeah, when we talk about Swag, like in general, with friends or with whatever, it touches a lot of subjects because it also involves people that have been cheating and that are now able to compete at the top level, and it's a really sensitive situation, I think. And I also think that Valve didn't like listen to anything, and they're just going off on their own will or what they want, and that is really like, I don't know if it's dangerous, but it should be more talked about, because it's, I mean, players just can't play at the top level right now for more than 2 years, so a bit sensitive.
Yeah, it's the whole thing with cheating, and then that brought up the debate, is cheating kind of the same thing as match fixing? And that's what everyone has to like really sit down and think about, because the cheaters can come back, but some people think cheating is a lot worse, and then the cheaters get unbanned after 2 years and the match fixers can never come back. So,
or just even the fact that a company is not allowing players to compete in like events, like for example ESL, they are not linked to Valve or anything, they are just playing their game, and I mean, it's confusing as a player, as anyone, as a spectator. For me, it's confusing to think that that player is not allowed to play anymore in other like events than Valve.
Valve majors.
It's, I mean, I don't understand. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sad for me because me and Brax, like, we've been playing together since like Go came out, and I always thought that he was like probably the best player I've ever seen play, and you know, he's been playing since he was like 7 years old, and just to have all that time that he put into the game, just, you know, not amount to anything is kind of sad. Even though I know like what he did was wrong, I think Valve made a bad decision letting the cheaters come back, because if anything, they shouldn't let anyone come back. They should both stay unbanned. But if the cheaters are gonna have like a 2-year,
the cheaters are unacceptable. Like,
yeah,
they literally cheated on LAN, which make it even worse. Cheating.
Yeah.
Just cheating is bad, but cheating on LAN tournaments, if that really happened, as they say, that's too much. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't. If I was the player, I would never be going for LANs again. Like, I don't know how they can deal with it.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, so that's why I just don't think it makes sense to, you know, unban the cheaters, but not unban the match fixers. If anything, just leave both of them banned. But
yeah, it's a very, very difficult topic to discuss about, because there's many point of views. But from the human perspective, I think everyone deserves a second chance. I think what they did was wrong, but it wasn't something that really, in my opinion, right? That everyone they can have their own minds about it, but in my opinion, they didn't do anything that would harm an entire community or something like that. It was right in the beginning of the game, when things were getting professional. We're actually leaving the first stage and the first generation of esports, so things are starting to building up. So I think it was a little bit too harsh because of that, but I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I think everyone can agree that a lifetime ban is like,
I think a lifetime ban would be properly after having a good example and say, oh, okay, so this one is a 2, 3, 5 years ban. Anything else after that, everyone is advised it's going to be a lifetime ban. So then you have a first case to take as a example.
I think that's a part of it too, right? Because they were the first ones who got caught, and Valve wanted to set an example, like set a precedent, like now everyone knows what the consequence is going to be.
I think that's stupid, because players are like 16, 18, 20. If you don't play for 2 years, maybe at the exception of Swag that has talent and stuff, you're just gonna quit. Like French players, they got banned and they just quit. And I think that's, I mean, lifetime, like it's crazy to think about. Not playing forever, you know, 2 years is already a lot, but anything beyond that point is ludicrous to me.